It's raining cats and dogs outside the office at the moment, and what better way to spend the rest of a gloomy afternoon than to sip a cup of hot brewed coffee. No creamer, no sugar, just the way I like it. Besides playing Mobile Legends too, of course. Hey everyone, what is up? Walang kukurap, it's our go-to guy, Erwin. Today we're gonna have a sneak preview of another upcoming Mobile Legends hero, Bixi, the Black Tortoise. He doesn't have any backstory and no voice clips have been lumped together with his character just yet. His name shows us Bixi when we visit the hero shop, but once we get to Bixi's profile, we see that he is named Baxia, and that also applies to his name in each of his skills descriptions. Clearly, the developers are still considering which official name to adapt. He's a tank based on his profile, and visually he does own a weapon that shows just that. A shield. Not just one, but a couple of shields that he can use as wheels to speed himself up with one of his active skills. All character lore details seem to fit nicely, but I'm anxious to know what would make him special as a tank. Most of his skills, as we're about to know in a bit, are offensive skills, and not a single buff allows him to absorb or nullify damage, or that would at least make him tough or resistant. Also, his mastery code isn't available yet, but we'll definitely see that in the near future. His passive is called the Bixi mark, and what this does is that it gives Bixi the ability to leave a mark on enemies that uses his skills on. Enemies that have this mark will have their regeneration effects decreased by half for 4 seconds. This immediately translates to Bixi being effective against heroes that rely on regeneration effects to be efficient. Bixi can become one with both of his shields and transform into a wheel where his movement speed increases for 10 seconds. Once Bixi's shield unity is activated, it cannot be cancelled or even interrupted by walls or turrets. It will stop, however, if the 10-second expiration is reached or until Bixi hits an enemy minion, a neutral minion, or an enemy hero. When Bixi hits an enemy, the impact knocks the enemy back and the enemy gets stunned for half a second. The first tap on Bixi's shield unity activates the skill. The second tap causes Bixi to jump over hurdles and walls. You can jump multiple times for as long as you tap on the button before the 10-second duration of the skill expires. Bixi can jump over minions to avoid impact, but jumping over an enemy hero will force Bixi to descend and make contact with the opponent. Instead of just a 0.5 second stun, however, Bixi stuns the enemy for a full second. Bixi throws his shield towards an opponent and inflicts magic damage while marking him for a couple of seconds. If the skill connects with an enemy hero, Bixi will be able to use the skill again at a highly discounted cooldown rate. In this manner, executing the skill properly will allow Bixi to spam his skills and bully his opponent. If Bixi misses his target, the skill activates a regular cooldown phase. Shield of Spirit strikes through minions, and these minions take damage as usual. But while they do, the skill doesn't allow Bixi to reuse the skill, and instead, the regular cooldown is activated. When Bixi activates Tortoise's fusions, he increases his movement speed and leaves behind a lava trail that damages opponents. This skill can be combined with Bixi's shield unity, his first skill, to theoretically increase Bixi's speed further to help cover more ground with his lava trail. Shield of Spirit, his second skill, is disabled while Bixi's ultimate is active. Bixi's shield unity increases Bixi's movement speed, but there isn't a way to determine how faster he became as the buff isn't reflected on his in-game profile stats. Activating Bixi's shield unity causes Bixi to move forward whether or not the controller is being used. I'm not sure if that was intended, but activating the skill and tapping the basic attack button allows Bixi to attack an opponent without creating an impact. At first I tried to be careful not to collide with Layla while trying to damage her with basic attacks. Then I tried to let go of the controller altogether and just focus on tapping the attack button, and you can see Bixi doing basic attacks to Layla while attempting to go towards what appears to be like random directions. What's interesting to note here is that Bixi still doesn't collide with Layla. His ultimate's description says that Bixi dashes crazily when activated. I assume that meant that Bixi will rush towards the fan-shaped area where you intend to deploy the frontal shield. You will see the fan-shaped area where Bixi is supposed to dash towards, but Bixi's animation animation doesn't seem to show Bixi charging at all. When his ultimate is activated, Bixi creates a frontal shield, but it isn't clear yet as to what this shield actually does. If we check on the hero profile page in game, we don't see any changes on his stats apart from the increase in his movement speed. There is probably an added defense somewhere, just not reflecting on the stats page yet. So I tested in-game to see if the frontal shield sorts of blocks or minimizes damage from projectiles or anything that's in front of him. Alas, that isn't the case as well. That's it, you guys. I guess we'll have to wait for some changes that are gonna be released on the next patch. Do you think that Bixi is an overpowered tank as others might say? Or do you think that it's still way too early to tell, as we've seen a bunch of bugs right off the bat that when fixed could actually make Bixi unintimidating? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell to see more videos like this one. Until next time, once again, my name is Erwin, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.